something going now. Crowd loving it. It's a ball, fly ball. Home run! 3, 2, 1.
Alright guys, every now and then we've been doing an NHL Lockout Update. Normally it's been about Ryan's love story through elementary and high school. But today we actually have some news. This past week has been all systems go for both sides, I think. The NHL did a secret proposal late last week to get these talks started up again. They upped their ante in terms of what they were offering to the NHLPA. The NHLPA is in turn recountered with a new proposal on their end. And then as of this evening, which is January 1st, the NHL is still looking over the NHLPA's counter and they have yet to call the NHLPA into their offices to get down to the negotiating part of it.
Yeah, so we're pretty much the same spot we were, except there's a couple of new proposals. Without having seen them myself, I don't know how much tweaking there has been done to either side of the proposals, how they've advanced it. Myself, I don't know. I don't know if you've seen anything new come across that would be publicized yet, but it looks like we're not much further ahead. However, they're talking. I mean, they have not announced a D-date yet for this league, but we've got to be approaching that. And I think this is one of the last efforts here for these two sides to save this season. Yeah,
from a little bit that I do know, and I'm basically just checking online. I'm looking at who has a estimated idea of what the proposed NHL offer is. Now the NHLPA, which is now the counter, the NHL offer to the NHLPA was 10-year contract, which is a mutual opt-out after 8 years. 50-50 revenue split between the clubs and the players, $300 million make-whole payment, which is outside the system, and it basically compensates the players to reduce the value of their player contracts in the early years of the CBA. There's no contractual rollbacks of any of the player salaries. The clubs can operate with an effective upper limit of about $70.2 million in 2012, but then must come down to around 60 at the beginning of 2013-14, which should make for a lot of deals or a lot of buyouts, I would imagine.
Which kind of what happened in the last lockout, where clubs had to release quite a few players to get to the cap.
Each club will be entitled to execute one buyout, so there you go. So there's that. So I would assume everyone plays this year with the roster they have, and then next year they cut a big name player
or two.
Yeah. Well, it says one. It says one.
That's true. One player.
Basically, and then the establishment of a defined benefit pension plan for the players, which basically comes out of the players' pockets, anyways. But that's just part of they'd be willing to, I guess, run that for the players. A little bit of arbitration and restricted free agent for the entry-level guys when they come into the league. Macro contracts would still be around 6 years, subject to the club's ability to resign its own players, which can then go up to 7 years. So if you're a free agent and you want to sign, let's say in LA, but you're from Toronto, you can sign for 6 years, but you can re-sign with your own team for 7 years. In addition, the year-by-year limit would be up or down by 10% instead of the backloaded contracts that we're seeing now. We're not backloaded, but the front-loaded and then backloaded lower contracts. There's not really anything big there. There's going to be revenue sharing from 150 to 200 million. So basically, teams that make a lot of money would then give money back to the Floridas and the Phoenixes of the league.
Islanders, the Jets,
and then there's just a whole bunch of other inner workings of the CBA that I don't think any of us really give a crap about.
Lawyer speak, that stuff.
But in the end, basically, there's no agreement, but I think both sides are more optimistic. I think NHL insiders are more optimistic that there's a deal that's possible.
Imminent, as the word that's been thrown around. However, I've been, again, the guarded optimism word is also floating around Twitter about a potential deal.
How this affects the World Junior Hockey Championship could be devastating, but let's not worry about that until there's actual deal to be made.
Wouldn't that be interesting? Now, do you think the NHL and the NHLPA, if they had a deal, would hold off announcing the deal, if they could, if it's not leaked, in order for the Junior Championship to go without that kind of distraction?
Yeah, but because the NHL owners don't make any money off that, I bet they don't give a shit.
That would be interesting. I would think as a player, as a PA.
Oh, I think as a hockey industry, that would be smart.
Yeah.
But
announce it like right after the gold
But the
medal.
NHL owners are all about cash, and so are the players. But I mean, I think the NHL owners for sure. If there's a deal, they're going to start wanting to make cash right away, especially the ones in bigger markets. They're going to want to get that deal out and open.
And I don't know that you can keep that kind of information anymore. It's rare that you see a deal
With the Twitter
of this size, that gets hidden until really the announcement's made. But I would like to see that. I mean, I hope it doesn't ruin the junior tournament or at least distract too much from it. I guess it can't physically ruin it, but it can definitely take a lot of the limelight off that tourney.
All right, guys, so we will be right on it. Ryan will be on Twitter. He's at rdon at 1 sec left. And I can normally be found on 1 sec left Twitter handle. We both sort of tweet from that anyways, but otherwise we will be on our own homepage, and we'll be doing podcasts, or hopefully upcoming doing some vlogs to sort of get us going on that as well. NHL union, NHL owners may have a deal in front of them, and let's hope that we have some NHL hockey in 2013.
Yeah, it's getting to that point where you start wondering what the hell we watch when the NFL's over, junior tournament's over. Cricket? That's what we've got to watch is cricket. I guess, well, the NBA is going to love it up here, but not that they really care about Canada.
That, or the next episode you hear of us, we'll be talking briefly about the NHL, and then we'll be talking about Ryan's college years.
Wow, I'll have to remember those. I'll have to contact some friends.